This one is just free form. This is a challenge for me to do, and the reason I'm making this video is because I went to a yoga class, and in the beginning of class she said, something to the effect of set your intention, kind of like, what do you want to get out of this class? A lot of yoga teachers ask things like that, and I had nothing. I'm here to stretch today, just to do some yoga. Nothing was coming up, right? But in the middle of class and throughout, I had a whole ton of emotions and thoughts pouring out and processing. Okay, I left that class with a lot of clarity, and that's what yoga does in general. It's not uncommon for that to happen, but this time, while I was doing all this stuff in the yoga class, I was enjoying all of it. I was feeling great. And a lot of these things I do already. I do yoga pretty much every day on my own without going to a class. And I don't make enough yoga videos. And I'm totally capable of making them. But I have this fear that I'm not going to do the right thing. So I'm crippled by perfectionism, and I feel like I don't value my own self-worth. I feel I'm afraid, not just of failure, but I don't want to mislead people. I don't want to be irresponsible in how I make people move or the thoughts that I put into their head. So I end up being less productive in a sense, because you're a creative being. You want to create. You can't help but to create. That's what you are. You are a creator. Everyone. I don't care if you think you're not creative. I'm not a creative person. No, that's not true. Everyone is creating something all the time. Okay? Even if it's just turning oxygen into carbon dioxide. However you want to think of it. Alright? So, where was I with that? So, there are a couple... That's also called the imposter experience, where you don't want to do the wrong thing because you don't want to be... You're afraid of being found like you're a fraud. Alright? And this is actually super common. Something like 70% of people have this thing, and so that makes people overwork and be perfectionists and a lot of other symptoms or whatever. And it's also a combination of that and something related to the Dunning-Kruger effect, where people who maybe are not the smartest think that they are pretty smart, and the people who are actually genuinely really smart often think they're not smart enough. All right, and maybe this is why the smartest people in the world are not politicians, maybe, or because they know they have to put up a facade or something, so. But the reason I also mentioned this is because there are a lot of YouTubers, people who make YouTube videos all the time, and all they do is they have this camera and they're going about their day, making vlogs, video blogs, and they're talking about nothing, right? Nothing of significance, or I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe it's interesting. But the reason I think people find it interesting is because those people are just letting themselves be free and showing their personality. And just by that virtue alone, it garners some sort of interest or following or whatever. And then people like me who refrain from doing that because it's too spontaneous, things can go wrong, I need the perfect setting, the audio's not good right now, I need to the lighting's not perfect, oh, I'm not wearing the right clothes, I haven't shaved, or whatever, you know? There's like a million reasons that would prevent me from finalizing, executing, you know, shipping, whatever you want to call it, sending it, you know, like just create something and wrap it up and send it and move on to the next thing, right? This issue with that. And again, it ties into self-worth. It would be amazing to be able to make a great living just making yoga videos, because that means I'm doing yoga, you're doing yoga, everyone feels happy, right? And of course, it's not just yoga. I'm giving yoga an example because I was in the yoga class, and you know, it's a phenomenal experience when you get to move your body and process emotions and leave that. So let me go back to that yoga class since I mentioned it. That yoga class, I started out without really any solid intention, and I left with all this clarity about, oh wow, you know, I should not be afraid. All of this is fear. All of this that prevents me from doing things, it's fear. Yeah. And you know how they say you live your life like it's your last day? I don't really follow that specifically, because then I would be too self-destructive if I really thought today was my last day. The way I like to think of it is like, if this is my last month or week, what would I do, right? And I just need to be a little more fearless, confident, not being afraid of being confident, because I naturally am confident, but to show that I'm confident. And yeah, just following my heart and doing the right thing. All I need to do is trust everything, trust the whole process, the whole journey. It's all a learning experience. There's no failure. Every time something doesn't work out, you're getting closer to the thing that is going to work out. I hope that was helpful in some way. Just me speaking out, connecting with my audience, connecting with myself. Hopefully that stirs things up in you and helps you as well to just move forward in life, to just keep on keeping on.